Everybody I meet is trying to get better. They're really working hard to break the pattern of back pain. And I've yet to meet somebody who really doesn't want to get better. But the difference between somebody who gets better and someone who doesn't get better is often the belief system that they hold. A lot of people that I would work with come from the belief that their body is broken and that their pain means that their structure is so badly damaged that they're not able to make any meaningful change to their life. So what tends to happen is that there's an acceptance that this is just going to be how it is, and that the future is going to look exactly the same as the present and exactly the same as the past. I think for many people, they get caught and trapped by this system that's really good at treating acute issues and pains, but absolutely rubbish at treating chronic issues because it's too fragmented. So the system is just too fragmented. It treats things in isolation when a lot of problems are actually part of the same thing. And I work with lots of people who have things going on in their life, maybe other aches and pains in their body, maybe other health issues, maybe they have other lifestyle habits that are not conducive to health, that are all part of the bigger picture of their ability to solve the problem. But what often happens within my industry is that, and probably health in general, is that it all gets so myopically focused on the body part, and it misses the individual and the person at the center of that. And it's one of these things that can change your life when you start looking, rather than being so focused on the pain as one particular spot in your body, stepping back and taking a look at your life in general and asking yourself, is what's going on in your body a reflection of what's happening in my life? And oftentimes it is. It's just that we've been taught over the years to dismiss and separate how we feel from how we feel in our body. And the expression of pain is often an expression that something needs to change. Whereas a lot of people with chronic issues will say that the expression of pain is due to structural damage, but it isn't. In my experience, in almost every chronic issue, it's due to choices that we've made and ways that we've sort of embarked on that journey with pain. And our response to pain is a big part of that, which is why when you look at the screen there, you see I've put mindset, movement, and momentum down the very bottom, because people often rush to exercise, rush to medication, rush to treatment, and they use those things to fix a problem that's fundamentally more about their mindset, more about their movement, and more about the lack of momentum in their life. Now, when you actually fix your mindset and understand, number one, why your pain is present and why it's there and all the things that can influence it and the things that you can do about it, you gain a whole different sense of opportunity. When you understand how much your movement is a reflection of your core beliefs and the mindset that you hold, then you know ways that you can actually address your biggest movement problems. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, aren't even aware that their movement is just a reflection of how they're feeling. And we have to be able to sort of use that to our advantage, not to our disadvantage. But a lot of people are so stuck in protective movement that they don't even know. It's such a subconscious thing. And everything is just overcomplicated. Like they've lost that ability to have freedom with their movement. So then the momentum that they often end up with is a momentum through more disability, through more protection, through more fear, through more loss of life and meaning in their world. And back pain is a real interesting topic when you look at like the research, which I do quite regularly. And it's like nothing is certain with back pain, but the only certainty that we have is how we act, how we behave, what we do. And we know that those things will either lead us down a path of declining health and declining function and declining life, or towards opportunity, optimism, hope. And we have to reignite and re-engage that. And that's why I've created the Better Back Reset. Like for me, it's not really about having this thing where you are just, again, falling deeper into the patterns that have kept you stuck so far. It's about breaking the cycle. It's about disrupting the belief that's driving a lot of those things that are leading you into the same cycle. And you'll know if you're in the same cycle because you're probably here after doing loads and loads and loads of things over the years. But I want this to be the bottom of the barrel where you start to go upwards rather than dropping further down, because we have to almost go through all of those things to realize that the things that we actually know that will get us better are actually the things that will get us better. And this can be really hard for people because we have to take a deep, hard look at ourselves, and we have to ask ourselves, what are we missing that could actually potentially make my life better? And then how do I implement those things in my life? And all of the things that I've done within the program are to address those core beliefs that hold people back. And I've just seen it repeatedly over 10 years. It's patterns. It might not show up in your life the same as somebody else, but it's the same deep rooted fear that's controlling your mindset, that's controlling your movement, and it's preventing any momentum in terms of your recover. So that's why when people look at the top of that, those blocks there, they focus at the top of that and they think that relief, pain relief is going to solve the problem. But it's actually what they need is relief from pain. And relief from pain comes with understanding. It doesn't come with doing exercises trying to fix a problem. It doesn't come with desperation of treatments to realign your joints. And it doesn't come with medications that are just designed to numb and dull the pain. But you have to ask yourself, like, if the pain isn't getting better and it's not it's usually because it's not being addressed, because the message that it's trying to convey is one of change, not one of damage, not one of avoidance, not one of protection. It's asking you to rekindle your love for life and the world. And you have to go and find that, because if you don't, what happens is that your life is devoid of joy. And when you're just managing pain and everything you think about is about not hurting your back, you don't really have a life. You have a condition that you're managing, and you have to be bigger than that condition. So hope everybody's doing really well this weekend. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll speak to you really, really soon.